Hi, welcome to my channel Knitting Latvian. My name is Ingrid, and today we're here to talk about my knits during December. Yeah, the year has passed rather quickly, but full of all kinds of events, and also with many knits. But for this podcast, I'll tell you all about my December knits and my acquisitions. I changed a little bit my surroundings. Uh, as I said, it's the easiest thing you can do at home for free. Just arrange your furniture in different ways. Let's start with what I'm wearing. This is my first finished object of December, a festive um, Christmas tree sweater. We both me and my sister we knit the same pattern together, just different variants, and I'll tell you about mine. So the base for the sweater was a 2-ply local wool, and I was pairing it with kid silk mohair. And the contrasting color, the color work color, is Filcolana tweed from Donegal, white base with little colorful speckles. Uh, so the construction of the sweater is top down. Um, uh, it has a little bit of short rows on the back, so the back is a little bit higher. Then the color work is made, and it includes also increases for the circle yoke, and a little bit before the arms and the body is divided. There are also raglan increases in between the armpits. The rest of it it's stockinette, and the endings and the cuffs, everything is one by one ribbing with a tubular cast off. I did make a change in the pattern. I combined the cast on with a uh, neck edge because I didn't want to pick it up later. So I made a folded over neck edge in one by one, sewed it down, and started the yoke. And the needles, let's talk about those. The ribbings are all of them are 3.5 millimeter needles. The stockinette part is 4 millimeter needles, and the color work part is made with 4.5 millimeter needles. I'm a tight knitter, so I tried to find ways how to help me with the floats, so to make them stretchy enough. Yeah, this was my second attempt of color work, and it came out much better because first one was really scrunched up, and even after blocking, I could see like the ridges in between, like repeats here. For that sweater, that was a different pattern, of course, but for this one, they're not that bad, and even with blocking, wet blocking, and with wearing, I can see it's almost unnoticeable, the scrunched up places. So the fluff of the mohair helped with disguising the the mistakes, or well, not enough long floats, but it's comfortable to wear. I like where the armpit um, starts. I was afraid first that it would be too big, I'm really happy. It's comfortable to wear. Also, the mohair for this color is very soft. Sometimes the different dialogues or different colors in kid silk from drops they vary and itchiness. Some are softer, some are not. But this time I got lucky. It's pleasant for me. It, it's not a scratching. Usually it bothers me in this place. It was my first finished object in December. So let's continue. Next up is a winter's accessory. This is a hood. The thought of it was that I combined both hat and scarf in one accessory because usually I have problems with wrapping my scarf around my neck. So this can easily resolve the problem. Yeah, it's a beautiful boucle yarn. Texture is like this. I think right now it's very trendy, actually, like the boucle texture. When I was making this hood, I used a stitch counter, like digital one that I put on my finger so I could count the rows. Usually I put stitch markers in every like 10th row to know how where I am. But here I can't even count the rows. So the hood is worked up in drops boucle yarn and um, drops puna paired together. It is worked with 5mm needles, and the construction of it is like this. I started with the rectangle on the top. Maybe you can see the rectangle uh, margins. After that, I picked up all around the sides of the rectangle and worked back and forth for a bit until here, where I made some increases for the face. Yep. And after that, I connected it all together and worked it in a round. Also for a couple of rows, and at the end, I just elongated the front part of the where the neck opening usually is for jackets and coats with short rows. And after that, for the finishes, I picked up uh, the um, stitches all around the openings and worked a couple of rows and the help of a hook, a crochet hook, bound it off so they're folded over. And this is how it looks on the inside. Very neat technique. For the edge, I only used the drop spooner. And yeah, I had, since I finished it, I had worn it every day. Yeah, because it combines both hat and scarf. Let me try it on. Yeah, very comfortable for me. Maybe I could even in the future make this part even longer, but not by using short rows, but decreases, I think. Yes, I look like a Teletubby, but I'm warm. Um, Now I really prioritize being comfortable and warm. So it doesn't bother if somebody mm, doesn't understand this concept. Mm, but I think it's really stylish. With this, I also made a pair of mittens to match. So I used the same yarn, same needle size, and the same technique for stitch counting. The stitch counter. They are a little bit worn in, yeah, because I have worn them already for a whole month every day. The mittens are made from the cuff with one by one ribbing. After that, I made increases for the thumb, continued until the desired length, bound it off, and then made this little thumb. Um, yeah, maybe if you try, you can see the increases, but as I said, the boucle texture hides everything. Yeah, they have a little bit of free space. They're really thick. That's what I like. And for like we had only like a one freezing day during December, and they kept me warm even during that. So I'm really happy of this fun set, and I will be wearing it for the rest of the winter. And I have another finished object that's quite massive actually, and I will try to hold it up so you can see at least one part of it, but I won't be able to fit in this format, so I will add additional videos while I'll talk about it more. And let's hold it up. Yeah, at least you can see the top part of it. It's a sweater dress. Um, yeah, I made this pattern up. The sweater dress, it has drop shoulder, and then it's made from top down, and it has beautiful cables all along the body and on the arms. Yeah, this kind of columns with cables that are leaning the same way. The dress is worked top down with the drop shoulder. And, it has also increases for the hip area actually. Yeah. And it is almost like it's a little bit past a meter long, and it goes to my knees or under them. They're that long. And after that, also I picked up the arms and knitted just without any decreases, and the finishings are the same all over, one by one ribbing with tubular cast off. For the neck edge I also used one by one ribbing, just double folded, and for the fold I usually use pearl row. I like it the best. The yarn I was using here, maybe you remember from like yeah, actually like a year ago, I started to make another sweater dress, just in plain stockinette, and I had put it down for the summer. I understood that I don't like it. Mm, it was made too huge for me. So the armpit would end under the rib cage. Um, I, I understood I don't like that. So the same yarn I was using for that, I just unraveled and made this one. The dress is oversized, but not was quite as in first attempt. Um, and the needles I was using for these are 4.5 for the cable part and 3.5 for the ribbings. Yeah, it was very interesting to knit simple cables, but the every like 10th row I had to make the cable turns. So it was very interesting all the way. And also where the hip area was, um, where I made the increases, also it got me going. So all the yarn, the both huge yarn balls that I had were uh, knit up till the last centimeters. And yeah, the contents, as I remember, were mostly acrylic, 75%, and just 20% was wool, and 5% were the speckles, the viscose speckles. Um, yeah, why didn't I use just pure wool? The reason is the weight of the dress. The acrylic helps it to be much lighter, and after it will be more easier to take care of it. Um, yeah, and I had this yarn in my stash. That's the was the whole purpose to use what I had. Yeah, this dress weighs 800 grams. Otherwise, if it was a pure wool, it would be 2 times heavier. So yeah, it doesn't weigh on itself that much. It doesn't stretch as much, uh, and I like it. I can wear it on my bare skin, and no, and only with the under the garments as I like. Those actually were my finished objects for December, and now we will continue with whips. Firstly, I'll show you a whip that you saw maybe last month. I had started a Dagmar jacket patterned by Petiteknit. Um, Here is the jacket, and from the last time we met, I have finished one of the arms, one of the sleeves, and I started the second one. How it looks now. After that, I will do the plackets for the buttons and the neck edge, and we will be done. Yeah, the pattern is also worked up down with these interesting cables. Um, as you can see, like a diamond. Uh, yeah, and these remind of honeycombs, and I really like the texture of this, um, the middle part. On the sides, it has a seed stitch, and the finishings are one by one ribbing. Also, the button plackets will be one by one ribbing, um, but I have to get there, and it is bound off with a tubular cast off. Yarn I'm using here is Drops Nepal in beige color, or the number of it is 0206. This project is also made with an unraveled, abandoned by me project. Yeah. Also from last year, I had started to make a sweater, a cabled, all over cabled sweater, but yeah, I didn't continue on it. I unraveled it and started to make this jacket instead. So you can maybe see the difference here where the unraveled yarn and the new yarn from a ball was used. And the top part, it's a little wonky. At the bottom of it, it's a lot smoother. So actually, this project, the dress, and actually also the base of this sweater is unraveled from abandoned objects. Yeah, I'm happy that actually I could just unravel and make something else after it that I enjoyed a lot more. Yeah, all three of those projects are like that. Yeah. Well, the last thing as a whip I have here is a mohair cardigan that is meant for my grandmother. Yeah, she wanted uh, a new cardigan. Yeah, she didn't want a raglan or drop shoulder construction, so I had to use some kind of different pattern and construction. Um, Here I'm using a pattern called Maggie cardigan by Petiteknit. Yeah, this pattern is very similar to Leon's sweater. That the construction of it is when you start at the back, make some increases for the shoulders, uh, and after that you make a little shoulder parts on the both of the sides of the shoulders, and you pick up after that in everything, and you knit back and forth, both when you increase the arms for a bit and work on the body, and in the same time you make the round neck, and for a little while for and after that here start like a raglan increases here only at the armpit. Cardigan is worked with 3.5 millimeter needles, and I'm using fingering plus mohair in drops flora and kid silk drops from drops. The color of flora is 05, and the color of the mohair is 22. Mohair for this color is very soft. It's not itchy, and after washing it, it will soften up even more. So I'm for now working on the body in stockinette. Yeah, 3.5 millimeter needles. Here are my bobber cords for the arms, and yeah, this will be a present for her. I have finished the whips, and last thing I had to show you are my acquisitions. Here the colorful ones are the new soft yarn base from Drops in fun colors. This green one is number 16 and this one is number 14. So these both are meant for DK weight um, projects. And the contents of this is also almost in the contents of this is classic sock base, 75% wool and 25% polyamide. So I'm excited to try make something out of these. And the last thing I have here is a nudie, like a pink nude color from Alize, and it's called Three Season. It's half acrylic and 25% mohair, and other 35 it's wool. It is meant to knit with 5 millimeter needles, I guess. The thread is not that thick, but as the picture shows here, it is meant for like an airy, uh, very translucent nets. Yeah, so I am uh, I do have two balls of this, and that 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 is my want to make some kind of airy net out of it, like a cardigan for summer, especially for going to events, maybe to someone's wedding. These were my finished projects, my webs, and my acquisitions of the last year of December. I hope you had a wonderful time in the last month, in the festive season, and I wish you have a nice next year, a peaceful year, and full of inspirations to make something and have enough strength to finish everything. And we will meet on another podcast.